wasting so much of yourself on them. It doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is how you feel about this. Your opinion is the only one that matters.
Boom.
Woo! Let's go!
We did it!
Hey!
Woo!
We did it!
We in here. Welcome to the You Are Here podcast. This is episode 89 of the podcast. We here. We're all here. Find the podcast on Spotify, YouTube, with that video, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Anchor.fm, www.youhearpodcast.co. We can add it for the M. Oh, what's up? It's been a while. And I'm just saying, we got a special guest today. Dave. Carrie Brennan. And we just watched the trailer.
Carrie Brennan's on
Carrie
the
Brennan
show.
back, and we just watched the trailer to Block, her new film. Carrie, what's up?
I'm reeling, dude. What's up,
What's
Carrie?
up, guys? I gotta say, that was a hell of an intro. You guys get better and better every time.
I mean, it's been 89 times.
You just nailed the empire.
It's now
You do-
89 times.
You do that 89. You do anything 89 times. You get it. You start to get it.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
You improve.
Carrie, I'm fucking vibrating right now. My blood is. You know when your blood, like, you feel it get hot and it starts to move through your body, like, and you feel it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm feeling that.
Feeling is so mutual.
Yeah.
So mutual.
That trailer just got me
Honestly.
feeling that. Your trailer just got me changed.
Got you hyped.
chemically. So thank you.
Mm.
Dude, we talked about this story way back when. We talked about it way back when. And you made it happen, dude.
Thank you.
How do you feel?
It's crazy because you guys have been here through every stage of the process, right? We talked
Yeah, that's
in
true, actually.
pre-production, and then post-production, and now when we're kind of like doing this like weird sending it out but kind of not sending it out thing, releasing stuff. Yeah.
This is a huge thing I wanted to talk about with both of you, because y'all both did films.
Oh.
You know?
Yeah.
And you both had something, you know, before all this shit happened.
Yes.
You know, the big COVID. And I wanted to ask you both about like how, like, having a film done and like, I don't know, just like how are you taking steps to, like, I don't know, get to the next level of how it would normally be? Do you think it'll ever happen, or?
I know that was like the big question, is like everyone's like, so like, how's life, whatever, but really like, what's the deal with this happy movie? Like, are we ever gonna see it? And like, I want to hear what your perspective too is with your movie, Lena, because like it was like tough, because in the beginning, I mean, we really, like, COVID came in like right at the finish line. Like we had basically finished the movie. We were about to drop the trailer and all that stuff, and then have premieres in June for Pride Month. And then COVID hit, and I was just like, what are we gonna do? Like, you know what I mean? So it was just this weird feeling of like holding our breath, and you know, there was of course the phases where it was like, we were like, September, October, you know. It was like me and like every other bride in America who like was like, you know, holding on to their dream weddings.
Yep.
And like I would talk to my friends like who had weddings, and I would be like, so what's your party planner saying today? Like, and they're like, well, Karen says that all the 200 people weddings are gonna be in July now, so like, don't worry, you know what I mean? And then it's just been, you know, kind of crazy. But Felina, what are you doing with your film?
It's sitting in a box and like a link. It's sitting in a link right now.
You put it on the top shelf in the closet.
It's just on the shelf.
We're just waiting.
Yeah, I understand the discouraging feeling of like just holding on to hope that July is going to be the month everything opens back up. This festival is going to be the first one that opens back up. Like, it's hard because you're sitting. I don't know. I've always done it where it's like the momentum of the thing carries itself throughout the whole process. So it's like you get the initial thought, the spark, and then you start writing the thing, and then you collaborate with people. Everyone says yes. You have a project. You go work on the project. You create the thing. You edit the thing. You finally are like, it's packaged, it's ready to go. And then that momentum just keeps trickling into like submitting for festivals, and then getting in, going to meet people, releasing it one day, however you choose to distribute it, and it would just cut right at like the we finished it, we were editing it, I was like, oh my god, this is fucking so cool, man. We were really excited about it, and then COVID hit in February, right? Late February.
Yeah.
And it was like,
Yep.
Basically, it was like right at the point where we were done editing, and it was like ready to go.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
so it's just been I have to like, I don't know. I started doing research. I guess like we all have kind of like what can we do now? We can release it online, right? We can just throw it up and just say, here it is.
Here it
Enjoy. But you could lose potential opportunity to have it released at a wider place, or like it's very complicated. I don't know the ins and outs of the distribution yet. I've only done it once, but I think we could have done it better on the last one. I think this one, I just wanted to be careful, so I've just been holding on to it. I'm just like, I gotta wait.
Yeah.
I gotta wait and see.
Yeah.
And
honestly, I feel like.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
No. I felt like the phone call thing's funny when you said like, "Hey, how you doing?" But like, and like no, they're like half listening because they're like, "But let me ask you now about the film. What's happening?"
Yeah.
No.
But like, actually, what's happening?
Yeah. I need to know. I made
a video. I put it up on Instagram. Just watch the video. Watch the damn video. That explains everything.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, it's tough because especially with and you can relate to this. Like, the movie is kind of the means to the end, which is like bringing people together.
Yes.
And
yes.
having a conversation with people about like, shit that needs to be talked about more, and like bringing, stuff like mental health, like having conversations like the shit that you don't want to have, but that's the whole part of the movie, is like speaking up, like touching the really hard, icky, prickly thing that you don't want to even go near because it's like so freaky. But then like, what is it like on the other side of that fear? Like, what is that? So like going into post-production, especially, Monica and I were like, we want to do the film festival route. Obviously you want to make those connections and stuff like that, which that alone in itself, and we're like, well, how do you do that? Yeah. But then there's also this, we both decided that we were like, we're going to put together this like indie festival circuit kind of, where we're going to connect with companies and like queer clothing stores, and like, there's like this production company that a friend of mine put together. It's called Bush Films, and basically she shares
shout out
shout out Bush Films. They share films like every week, and so we're like, okay, let's connect with them, get these talk to high schools and stuff like that, colleges. And so we had 6 places that we were going to go and show the film out, just to take it to places other than a film festival audience, because that's the tip of the iceberg. And then that all kind of got shut down. So we're like, it's just tough, because it's like, that's like, how do you do the thing? How do you gather people together without gathering people together?
Yes.
Yeah. And I got a tough time with the whole link thing too. I'm really fighting it.
Are you? Yeah. You're fighting that thought?
Yeah, I mean, because we have sent it to virtual film festivals, so we're gonna check and see like how that goes, But we're gonna continue sending to festivals like when hopefully things get in person.
Me too. Yeah.
But it's tough.
It's tough.
I think one of the more like the things that you want, especially when you're doing like with these like, I don't know, these opportunities that where you think of an idea for a film and you make it happen, and then you go through all these things and you're invested in it. The thing you want is to see people in person and like have their reaction and get that connection, that you could see it in their eyes when they're watching it. I think that's the main reason why you want it. When like I don't like the idea of I'm sure like they work some ways, but like I just feel like there's a loss of like connection with like an online like festival.
Something about it. It's tough. It's very tough.
It's weird.
Yeah. It's really tough. And then it's like, will people go to, if we do an online thing, will people go to the in-person festival or in-person whatever premiere after the fact? And then like, there's of course the question mark of like, how about a drive-in movie theater? Yeah. And I'm like, honestly, you know what? I just want like an indoor football stadium. Like, I just want to rent one. So shout out if anyone has an indoor football stadium.
There's got to be some way we can. I'm sure we know a lot of people. Dave, you introduced me to a lot of people. You just introduced me to Carrie. Like, we know a lot of people. I'm sure if we think of something, we can rent someplace out and figure something out.
It's tough,
Yeah.
man. It's tough. I was thinking about like just for friends and family. Like I wanted to have the people that contributed to the film. Like I wanted to have them. I wanted to have like something for them. That was the whole part of the fundraising.
Yeah.
It was like
Yeah.
some kind of come together and we all do this, like dinner and a show kind of deal. And I just can't wrap my head around like how do I bring everyone together and it's like everyone feels safe and comfortable and there's no just floating fear in anyone's mind that like you're getting COVID. You know what I mean?
I'm sure there's that feeling inside
Exactly.
too that like because of the fundraiser, I'm sure like this is why you want to put something out, you know, and like that must suck for,
It's weird. Yeah.
thinking about the people that supported and we're like, fuck, I have nothing, I can't.
It'd be out by now.
Yeah.
It'd be somewhere by now if it wasn't.
It's hard.
If it wasn't.
Yeah,
like
exactly. It's like you want to pay the people back. Like, like for all this time you've been like, hey, like you're giving us your money, but like we have something that we're doing for you that we're gonna give you. It's like it's an exchange, you know. It's not just like a donation.
Yeah.
And then after like, dude, our fundraiser was like, I'm pretty sure coming up on 2 years ago.
Whoa.
Like that's a long time.
Get out of
long time. I saw pictures because I had to get a bunch of stuff together for just like releasing trailer, and I'm like, I look young in this picture.
Wow.
Like, but it's been it's pretty crazy.
Yeah. What's something because like it is cool that we were like following you through the process and now like on the other side of at least completing the film. Like I wanted to ask like what do you feel I think we were on the phone about this the other day. We were talking about this a little bit, but like are there any like things that you experienced on set that you were like, I can't believe this is happening? This moment has been something I couldn't have imagined, but like I'm leaving with this new experience that's like insane. Like do you have anything like that? Like any story like that?
Yeah, there was a moment at the end of the film. Well, it was the second day, but that we were shooting, but it's one of the last scenes. And there's this this line that Tori says that it actually came up in an improvisation one time when we were in class, or not in class, but at the collective together one morning.
Oh man, whoa.
And I'm pretty sure you were there.
Oh my god.
But we were doing this improvisation, right?
Yeah.
And God, throw it back to the collective, by the way.
It's so sad. I'm so sad. Oh man.
Yeah. Dude, but think about this. Like the first time we get back when we are able to meet again is gonna be like amazing.
Yeah, it will.
You know?
It will.
Amazing.
That's true.
But yeah, we're in this in between, which is tough.
Yeah.
It's tough right now.
Yeah, sorry. I cut you off.
Anyway, yeah, so we were at the collective and Tori improvised this line. And I was like, I actually really like that line. Like, let's write it in. And she's like, great, whatever. And the day that we shot, it was just this scene. It was just like madness. Like we had a rain delay, so we had to pack everything in and, you know, like just like a million obstacles like in our way. And we finally made it to this sunset scene to get the shot. And she says, she's like, of all the shit that I've put you through and everything and blah, 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 like, have I ever not been there for you? And that line, it just, the way that she kind of said it to me, like, you know, when you're kind of like, you're in production and you're wearing the hats and, you know, and I know you can relate to this, Leno, like, and you're just kind of overwhelmed with the production, but then you zero in the scene and it's just like, it's like being underwater, like when you're just like floating underwater and like you're like in this little world. And anyway, that line just like absolutely rocked me. And it reminded me of my brother, who a majority of like Abby is based off of him. And I just had this like multi-layer, like just realization that like my brother in my real life and Abby in this film and in this world that we created, she's always been there for me. Like no matter what. And like, and Tori also in that sense. So like it was all just like stacked up. And then I lost it. I just lost it. And yeah, so it was an
Wow.
amazing moment.
There's a
Damn.
moment, and I haven't seen the film, but just in the trailer just now, like that fucks me up every time. Is when I think Tori's character is telling you, this isn't something you have to hide or run
Yeah.
away from, or like what's the line specifically? Do you remember the line?
I think she says, "You're wasting so much on yourself on that."
Mm.
Right? Like,
Yeah, she says you don't have. This isn't something you have to. Damn, man.
You don't have to hide, or
Yeah, something like
Yeah.
that. But your reaction to that just fucks me up so much, man. That I feel like when you
Yeah.
write something like that, it comes from such a meaningful place that once you use the vehicle of like storytelling and you put a character out there and you put the character saying this to the other character, this is the personal thing I thought in my mind back at home in my room while I was writing it. And I shared it, you know, in the script. And now there's two characters we built, and they're the vehicle to get this to people who watch it. You know, if they suspend disbelief, if they're involved in the story enough, once that line comes across and it's received on the face of like your character, it was just it's crazy how you can convey such a personal feeling and emotion, circumstance through a story that like we can connect to, and so many people can connect to because of like the vehicle you use. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you use story
absolutely.
to convey your personal struggle. You built character, you built relationship, you built circumstance, you produced it, it was filmed, and like we get to see a snippet of that now. And then when I see it, I'm moved by your personal thing that you were dealing with years ago, or that you came up with. It's just crazy when I think when I like break it down like that for myself, using the vehicle of story to, because I feel like I get soapboxy sometimes if I'm like, this is the real personal thing that I'm just gonna share it.
Yeah.
And when I say, you know what, I'll write a script with the human thread being this thing that I've been struggling with, or this thing that I'm questioning about life or relationship, or you know, anything, the nature of what life means, whatever's bothering me or keeping me up at night, I'll use the vehicle of story and then put it out there, and then that'll be a way I can, you know, see if like other people feel the same, and also like I'll feel less alone, and also they'll feel less alone. You know?
Yeah.
Like, it's a service.
Exactly.
It's weird.
That's such a cool way to put it. Like I love the way you think sometimes. Like you literally take things and you really like break it down, and like I love how much you love storytelling and you love acting, and like you have such a reverence, and like, or not a reverence, that's not the right word, but like you like have such a respect for storytelling.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And like
you.
it's just like you remind me so much of Shia LaBeouf in that sense. Like at both of you, like you just there he is. Shout out, Shia.
He's on the song.
But like when you break it down like that, it's like it really is like magic, which sounds crazy, but it's like, oh my God, like here's this thing that happened, and like I'm trying to get this feeling across. So we're gonna like reenact it and then try and like feel it as real as we possibly can, and then like hopefully other people in real time feel that way. Like what?
Because it's
just like
it's so much
madness.
work, right? It's so much work. It's so much like fucking time.
Yeah.
To make us to first of all, it's emotional work to be like, I'm going to share a thing. Scary as fuck already. When you get to the point of finally saying, okay, I'm gonna build a story around this, you have to create all of it, dude. For people at home or just listening, never like wrote a script or have a thought they might want to, like, you have to build a premise. So this is the thing I want the story to. This is the contradictory, or the one thing I want to tell in this story. I want people to feel like the little boy who cried wolf. Don't lie. Basically, the story is about if you tell lies, it leads to ruination. That's what the story is about. You build the story around a premise. You build character, so you have to go super deep and find out who these humans are, everything about them, and you build them. And if it's personal enough, if it's specific enough, it's human and we'll relate. When you deal with a premise like that, or a human thread that we can all relate to, I'm a heterosexual male. I've never been through what you've been through. I've never experienced it in my life. I've never went through those those feelings of like insecurity about your sexual orientation and who you're attracted to. And I never had to think twice. So it blows my mind that you used a vehicle of story, did all this work, and then I can sit back and watch it, and I can be in your shoes like easily. I can feel what you felt in a sense. I can empathize totally, because I've felt insecure before. There are things that I've felt like I've had to run away from and hide and mask, and I can relate there. So I immediately relate to Kit. I immediately am there. So it's weird how we're all so similar, even though our circumstances are different and we're different.
Yeah. And everyone, no matter what, that feeling of like, oh, Jesus Christ, here's this thing that I don't even want to go there.
Yeah.
I don't even want to like talk about it or even think about it. It's like, it's universal. It's universal.
Yes.
I love that you are on the premise train, because the
are we on it together?
What?
We're on it together, me and you?
We're on it together.
Mike, you want on?
I'm down.
Yeah.
I'm down.
Also, wait, I'm going to turn on my light.
Yeah, go
ahead.
Yeah, it got dark,
creepy.
yo.
Like I'm in
I
a
got
dungeon
scared.
right
You
now.
look like you're in a scary movie. Like, what's that webcam movie with John Cho? You know what I'm talking about?
No,
Oh, there's a good one out right now. Yeah, okay. Go turn on the light.
Really?
Go turn on the light. Yeah. I'll wait for you.
All right.
Like, Carrie's in her dungeon. It got dark in there.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Actual light, and I'm like,
Let's get those studio lights out for you.
There we go.
oh, thank God, I just had to put on pants. Am I right?
Am I right?
Anyway, yeah, it took me a fucking year to get the premise, to figure out like what I wanted the film to do.
Wow.
Like a solid year.
Whoa.
But once we figured it out, it's crazy, because that premise, and the log line too, literally served us in everything, from marketing to the lookbook to who we hired, because I would talk to people and be like, hey, like, this is actually what this movie does for other people. And like, so if you want to be on our team, if that's something that you want to do for other people, then great, then come on the team. But if you're not, if that's not your thing, that's totally fine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It almost and even like disagreements for script and story and everything like that. Like my best friend, Monica O'Hara, shout out Monica.
Shout out.
She directed the film, and every time we would have disagreements, we'd be like, all right, let's get ourselves out of it. Let's go to the script. Let's go to the premise. Let's go to the OG reason, what this film is meant to do. And then like put it up against our own opinions, and then objectively be like, okay, this is the right way we need to go.
Yes. That's your North Star, right? That's like your North Star in the entire process.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. That actually happened when we had our director had to drop out last minute for other reasons.
I'm sorry about that. I feel bad about it. I apologize.
Oh no, it actually worked out amazing. And like the director that we had before. What?
I was making a joke that I directed and I had to back out. I was
saying, like, did you cause it?
I was directing it and then I had to back out. I had another engagement.
Wow, that just went.
No. It's okay. I didn't set it up properly. It was
classic. I was like, damn, that's like really nice of him. No, the director we had before, she fucking killed it, and she gave us like everything we needed.
Everything happened the way it's supposed to, I'm sure, dude.
It really did.
Yeah.
It really did. But I was at this place where I didn't want to get over my ego. Like I wanted to have a director who like knew Meisner, was like Playhouse West, like blah blah blah, all this stuff. And Monica, who's my best friend and who also has directed, like she's done a lot of commercials and stuff like that. She was like OG in my parents' basement with me, like day one when I was like, hey, like, so these are all my Post-its on my parents' basement wall. I think I want to make a movie out of this. And she's like, okay. Like she like OG was there. Damn. And she said from the beginning, she was like, I want my name to be thrown in the hat to direct it. Ooh. And I was like, okay.
Hell yeah.
Great. But like, we speak a certain language, Playhouse West, all that stuff. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then when our director dropped out, I still had my heels in the ground about it. And then she and I sat down and we're like, okay, like, let's really like look at the film. Like, what is this? Like, if you are the director, like Are you going to be able to do this? Are we still going to be able to pull off what we pulled off? And guess what? She was amazing. She
Yeah.
absolutely killed it.
There we go.
And it worked out.
Yes.
But yeah, the premise was the North Star.
Yeah.
Still is. You know?
Yeah. That it's such an effect.
Yeah.
It's so just honest. It's just
That's the way it's got to be, huh?
Yeah. The premise I think is the most integral part of the story, and I think this I didn't know this. Like, this was something I wish I knew years ago. I think I was telling stories on accident that would fall into like a personal premise that I like construct for myself that I had no idea I was like building a story around. But so I fucked up a lot of stories, but I think I nailed a few because I like somehow landed on a premise like blindly.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I think the new way I've been writing and what I've been, shout out Adam Louder, gotta do it.
Boom.
We've been having these writing meetings and you know, basically he's been like teaching me about the beginnings of writing and how to construct a story from the ground up. And the premise is just so important. It's the debatable, it's the debatable like conversation you're putting out saying this equals this. This is what I think. This is what my story is going to be about. You can disagree, but I'm going to show you a story of trying to prove that. And it's everything, because you can judge how far away you're getting while you're writing, how close you are. Everything is off of that. It's like the spine of your script.
Exactly.
Yeah,
There was
so important.
there was a story in Tony Spont's screenwriting course, which literally, if I can't recommend it enough. I feel like I talk
shout out
about
Tony.
it every time on this podcast. Shout out Tony Savant. But the first chapter is he tells this story, and I'm gonna totally butcher this, but it's like this person's writing this or inventing this like I don't know what exactly it was, but he's making an invention and he's like struggling, and then this like sensei guys, and he's like, why am I struggling with putting together this thing? It keeps breaking. And the sensei is like, because you don't know what it's like, it doesn't know what it's meant to do. It doesn't, the object doesn't know what it's meant to do. So it doesn't matter how hard you work. You're never going to create the thing because it's serving no purpose. It has no job.
Yeah.
You know? And also, like, it takes, once you know the premise, it takes you out of it.
Yes.
Like, you know, it's like that classic Meisner is like, it gets the attention off of yourself. Like, this is my story. Yeah, but it's not really about me. It's about you guys. It's about like people who are going through it. And like, you know, inspiring people to see the best in themselves. Yeah. And to show people, like, our premise was like, love overcomes fear.
Yes. Love
of oneself overcomes fear of what other people think. Longer version. But like, no matter what, it's just like that's the root of it, you know? And like, this film is gonna hopefully do that. Like, there's a need, and at the very base of it all, you know, like, how are we gonna fulfill that need? Yeah. And it kind of like just takes the pressure off me, even though like I was saying to Monica yesterday, I'm like, I'm so unhealthfully like intertwined into this story. Yeah. Like, gotta work on like getting some distance, but
that's
personal.
difficult. It's so personal. You made it it's from you. It's from your personal like need to tell that to share this for the purpose of like, you know, reaching people and showing them that love will overcome fear, like in the long run. And it's hard to like untangle from it's like a baby. It's like it was your baby, you know, you fed it, you grew it, you pampered it, you did all kinds of stuff with it, and now you got to say, okay,
here we go. Here we go.
Fly, baby, fly. Fly, birdie. It's a weird process. So
it really is.
So
I had a crazy like experience the night before we released a trailer.
Oh,
and, like,
man, what happened?
It was one of the most like insane moments of my life. Like, I will truly never forget it. I was on a run, and like, give you a little background. The trailer we had the trailer made in like November. It was like last fall, and my friend sent it to me. And before he sent it to me, he texted me. He's like, "Hey, just look at the trailer. Let me know what you think. I have this Imagine Dragons song. Like, don't get attached to it. We don't have the rights." I'm like,
Right.
"Okay, whatever."
Right.
And I was leaving a class in Manhattan on my way home, and I watched it, and I literally was like sprinting through the streets of New York, like screaming. I mean, screaming. People thought that I was insane, probably.
Yeah.
And just like shaking on the subway. I'm like, yes, like we need this song. We need this Imagine Dragons song.
Whoa.
It's the heart that like I love that song.
I love
is,
that
like,
song, dude. I love that
great
song.
song.
Mikey don't like Imagine Dragons.
No,
Mikey's
Not
ripped
bad.
Imagine Dragons in the past.
I got a couple songs I like, but I'm not gonna say it on air.
But hey,
I'm gonna cut this out.
he's a
that's
hater.
okay.
I
They're
love
a
it.
very
But you know what? For a film like that, like I can see it.
You see it?
You know, I'm not
Yes,
gonna
that's the
say
thing.
no.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay.
That's the thing.
Wait,
Like,
so is that
it
actually? Did you
works.
actually get the rights?
So we didn't get the rights
Okay.
technically,
Ah.
but this whole winter was like me like being like, we're gonna get the rights. Like I'm gonna contact Imagine Dragons. Like I mean, ask Tori. I had like posters. all
I'm
over my
DMing
wall,
the
like,
singer
here's-
on
What'd you
Instagram.
say?
I'm DMing the singer on Instagram. I'm gonna get.
Oh
it.
yeah, I DM'd his like fucking like aunt's cousin's wife. Like
There we go.
I was going deep.
Yeah.
And we ended up connecting with his manager and
Huh.
stuff like that. And like we got a hold of the label, and they're like $25,000, and I'm like, no thanks, not gonna happen. And then like a month ago, so we went through a whole process with another editor who remade a song and all this stuff, but that took like 3 months to make it what we wanted.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then, like maybe a month ago, I was on Instagram and I saw someone put this little disclosure in their Instagram, and it like, I was like, I DM'd him. I'm like, hey, like, what's the deal with this? And he's like, you know, if you use the disclosure, like you're kind of protected. And so we put the disclosure, and we haven't had any knock on wood issues thus far.
Awesome.
But anyway, so basically it's just the trailer it's been a fucking long journey.
Yeah.
With this
A
trailer.
year, right? Just about.
And the night before I was on a run, and I'm like hoofing it. Like I was just like dying the whole time, and I reached the very end of the run, and I put on shuffle. My phone's on shuffle, and what do you know?
The song
comes on.
The Imagine Dragons.
Yeah.
Damn.
And it was like, and everything, like literally just like everything from like this winter to like, you know, last year to like hundreds of phone calls with Monica, just like everything kind of hit me all at once. And it was like the craziest feeling I've ever had. Like I don't even know how else to describe it. So it was like this out of body experience. Practically like fell off the treadmill and was just like in tears and was just like, oh my gosh. And my sister comes downstairs. She's like, what happened? And I'm like, it's just a lot. I'm just overwhelmed.
It all hit at the right time.
You see what Imagine Dragons can do, bro? If you're open
Let's
to
go
it.
back to Imagine
I'm
Dragons.
telling
This is why I dislike Imagine Dragons.
Okay, go
because
ahead.
it sounds like music that should be free. Like that you could just use. It sounds like royalty free.
That's
You
I was
can't
just
say
gonna
it's not.
It sounds
Oh,
like royalty free music.
And
It
that's all I'm
sounds like
saying.
it's cheap commercial music.
But then they ask
Like,
you for
you know, it's like-
$25,000 and I'm like, hey, come on.
Yeah. That's steep, man.
Like what's the deal? Yeah, $25,000. Like
Song, dude.
that's tough.
For my trailer on YouTube.
Come on, Vimeo.
Yeah, on YouTube. I was like, they were like, it's gonna be geo-locked, so it's only to the United States.
Oh.
3 months max, and then
3
Yeah, and
months?
I was like,
Now,
yeah, just
this
3
is
months.
actually an interesting thing to talk about. I think actually for copyright and stuff, if you're only posting it to certain sites like YouTube or Vimeo, I don't think you really need to worry about it. Because like the main thing is like monetization.
If you're monetizing.
So if you're
Yes.
monetizing, then like yeah, you need the rights and everything. But if you're not, like
Well, a trailer
they don't
Exactly.
really care that much.
a trailer is an advertisement for your film, right?
Yeah.
And so does that count as? I'm curious. I
Yeah,
need
yeah.
a lawyer. I want to lawyer up.
This is why people have.
You know, because
That is true though, because
yeah.
then it connects like, oh, you got all this. 'Cause
how
of
much
this
did
trailer
you make off of your film?
because my song was in it.
But if it's not in the film,
And everyone likes your film because of my song.
yeah, yeah. I don't know. I don't know how that works, dude. I don't
Honestly,
know.
if they try and come at us, I'll be like, whatever. You know
Yeah,
what?
yeah.
Here, take the money.
Yeah, but that's
Like-
it needs the song. It's
Yeah.
perfect. It's perfect song. Perfect song
Needed
for the
it.
trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see why.
You guys have music in your film?
We do. We have a couple tracks. Shout out. Oh my God, Kiss Me Staten. That's the homie. He came out.
He's great.
Dude, he's the shit.
So good.
He created
Yeah.
music for the film. Who else? Who else? We had a couple people that we paid for, but nothing crazy. Nothing crazy. But we use what's the name of the app? Music Bed. I think we used. They have royalty-free music, and they also have music that you pay royalties for. But they have such like a crazy like collection of artists, like young artists or artists that have been doing it for a while.
Oh, nice.
They're making money on the side by doing this, and it's an awesome app. Awesome. Shout out. Give us a
Hey, figure it out.
Music Bed.
Hey.
Give us a sponsorship.
Figure it out.
Come on. Free sponsorship.
I remember seeing when you were God, name is gonna totally escape me. The movie that you did, The Rose Garden. The Rose Garden.
Yes.
You guys had, I think it was it Music Bed?
Yes.
Music at the Playhouse West Film Festival. And it was like every 2 minutes. It's like
Oh
music.
my God.
Oh no, it had that.
We did. Yeah.
It had the watermark.
It
on
had the watermark on it, dude. It had the watermark on it. We didn't pay
Provided
for
by
it.
Music
That's-
Bed.
Music Bed. It would say that every 15, 20 seconds, dude.
Music Bed.
Just for the
I thought
one
it was
scene.
part of the movie. I literally thought it was part of the movie.
Dude.
And I love that movie so much.
We just watched the trailer before we jumped on. I don't know why I wanted to tell you this, but there was. We're talking about story. That's why I want to tell you this. We're talking about how story is like. I'm just falling in love with story again, and I got excited about this trailer. It was a film from 2019. I never saw, but I wanted to. I didn't watch it back then, and I should have, and I didn't. But now I'm gonna go watch it. It's called The Tomorrow Man. The trailer. I was thinking of your trailer and how like excited I get when I watch the trailer, and it does exactly what it's supposed to do, which is like get the idea of what is the journey I'm going to be taking on in this film, and like do I care or not, and I 100% do when I watch your trailer, and I 100% do when I watch this trailer that I showed Mikey.
Yeah.
It's called The Tomorrow Man.
Do you want to watch it now?
No.
Are you sure?
We don't. No. We can wait. You watch it on your own. But
I was gonna say now I want to watch. I'm putting it down. The Tomorrow.
yeah,
we can do it. We can do
put
it.
it down.
We can watch.
I don't know why I was so like drawn to it. It's probably a cheeseball movie, but I got excited by the trailer.
You don't want to watch.
You know, it's such an
Love a good
effective trailer.
trailer.
John Lithgow is in this film. There's this one scene in the trailer where I think it's one of the best acting jobs I've ever seen.
In the trailer.
It's just a reaction. He's reacting to, I think what the scene is it's his first date with this woman that he's dating, right? And she's coming out of her house, and he's in his car, you know, and he's looking through the passenger side window, and he's just reacting to her coming out, like in her dress, and I can't, man, I can't describe
Should
it.
we watch it?
We
We can do it, dude. All right, we're gonna watch it right now.
That'd be $9.50. Okay. Thank you. Hi, Ed.
Nice car. I see it here from time to time. You like coffee?
The way I see it, I'm the wrong side of 60 anyway, and I'm not getting any younger.
I don't think there's a wrong side of 60.
Do you want to watch TV? What do you like to see?
Documentaries.
On what? What kind of subject?
War.
Ask me something. Is there something you want to know that you don't know?
Not really.
Nothing?
I don't know what I want to know yet about you. And when I know what I want to know, I'll let you know.
Showing you this means I'm trusting you more than anybody. You can't see it, can you?
What can't I see?
This is my security blanket, my safety net, my 401k.
How did you do this?
Oh my
God. I do believe you are doing the walk of shame.
Maybe in 10 years, you'll call me on
Dad, this is my girlfriend, Ronnie.
Remember how we knew each other.
These are interesting times we're living in. All you have to do is learn to connect the dots and get ready. I just want to be ready.
The thing about people is they change.
My daughter died. She was my world.
I'm sorry.
Don't you want to come in?
Do you know there's only 3 days worth of food in the stores? The 99% are going to be out of commission. I don't mean to upset you.
Why do you always act like this?
Why don't you just admit it? You're scared.
Used to love you like the world did. Used to love you like a child.
You only think about tomorrow, but I'm here.
Thing about
I'm here right now.
change when they walk away.
Come on now.
Wait, what?
Come on now.
Okay. I'm sorry. I had so many thoughts.
Dude.
That, number one, so good. I love that trailer.
Right?
I fucking love that trailer. You know what I realized the other day? I love movies that are like slice of life, like really like it's not a lot going on.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's about an old couple that falls in love, and you know what I mean? But it's like you make it big and bright and like cinematic, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
then, like, it's so easy to fall in love with that story because
Yeah.
like it's down to earth, it's relatable. I mean,
Yes.
I don't know what it's like to be 60 and fall in
Yeah,
love.
yeah.
However, like, it just gets you. It
Yes.
gets you.
And I think, like, when we're talking about premise, like a story with that story specifically, I think the premise I walk away with is a fulfilling life is a present one. And so they build two characters, and one that's stuck looking into the future out of his fear of what's coming, and the one in the woman's stuck in the past and the loss of her daughter. And then we throw these two people together and we show them, if these two are present together, look what they can have.
Holy shit. That is beautiful.
You know what I
That
mean?
is
That's the power of
truly
story.
brilliant.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's so much
And
purpose.
also, it's power of like falling in love too.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
'cause when you're
Yes.
with someone who, like, you know, that feeling where it's like, oh my God, I don't even know where my phone is. Like, I don't even care. Like, I
Yes.
just want to like be in the same room as you and just like chat for hours. You know?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
there's this book that I read, and really, no, I think I have to charge my computer. I think I told you about it last time we were on the phone. But it's called The Power of Now by
Yes.
Eckhart Tolle. And I recommend this book with the one cautionary, you know, thing is like the first third of it is so heady and it's so slow, and you're gonna want to not finish it, but you got to get through that first hump, and then it's just the whole premise of the book is like, you know, very similar to this podcast, like, be here right now.
Yeah.
And like, most people are trying to seek salvation, he uses the word, by either looking and obsessing about the future or reminiscing in the past and getting some feeling from that. Like, we'll do anything we can to escape the present, but actually his you know, argument is like, true peace and true happiness can only be reached by just being so present.
Yeah.
And I think like, and I read this book this past year, and like 2019 was a doozy for me. And like, I was struggling so much. Like, it was kind of like a second block for me. And I feel like this trailer is like that book. Like, they're like hand in hand. They both are trying to say the same exact thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like, this is like this podcast, right? Like, isn't that if you guys had to have a premise for this podcast, what do you think?
Dude, I was thinking about that in the shower before I came. That was
Really?
literally what I was thinking. What would be like the premise of the podcast? And I'm bouncing off ideas, but like, it's that the presence, only the presence bears fruit or something like that, or present conversations bear the most fruit, like things like that.
Yeah.
Because the second we try to like plan, or like construct, okay, we need to talk about these topics today, and this is where we're gonna head, and I thought about this beforehand, so I'm gonna, try to lead this conversation. It just always is just it's not fruitful. It doesn't bear much fruit. It's a stale, it's not fair, and it's not honest. And I think the point of our podcast from the beginning was like, we're just gonna, me and you have conversations in the present about whatever's going on in the moment.
I think the goal was always to have conversations, have longer, conversations, face to face with people.
Yeah.
And just have like that moment to be present. Yeah. And just take in, where we are right now.
Yeah. You know how many times I get asked like, so what's the podcast about?
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's about, just being present. Like, it's honestly about having a present conversation. And then the expressions I get are always like, okay, yeah. But like, how long? Like probably like it's over an hour usually, and they're like, what? Like, have you ever had a conversation? Am I crazy? Have you ever had a conversation? And you're like, I don't know.
I think that tells.
For that long.
That's kind of the reason why we wanted to do it too, because of that reaction where it's like, I mean, I found myself not having as many, long conversations with people. And I don't know. I think I was definitely, it was negatively impacting my life, especially because I've been wanting to, open up more.
Yeah.
And kind of like change in certain ways.
Yeah.
I think this is definitely a way that I can, talk about people. Now I'm saying like, I'm like, damn, I love being podcast Mike.
Yes.
It's my favorite thing.
Yes.
And then when I'm out of here, I'm like, fuck, I'm falling into my old ways.
Yeah.
So it's
like, this is you. It's
it's
just you unfiltered.
This is my boundaries have been broken.
Yeah.
I'm here for it.
Yeah. I was thinking about.
And also
sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, when you guys when you have a premise like that where you're like, we're just gonna be present here, like it opens you up to so many other surprises that wouldn't have happened had you come in with these like, we're gonna hit these points at this time. It just like allows you to be, once you're present, like anything can happen. There's so many, the possibilities are endless.
Yeah. And like having just an open conversation like there's another human is like so healthy.
Yeah.
I think it's I always feel like after our talks, me and you, or me and Carrie, like I just always feel super grateful and alive and like just and hopeful. I feel hopeful leaving conversations like this. I never feel like, oh man, I always feel good about it. And I was thinking about so your boy doing therapy now.
Oh, officially.
Your boy,
Hell yeah.
Your boy.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's amazing.
No, it's a lot
Congrats.
sick. Yeah, thanks, dude.
We can talk about it. Is that a thing?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna share everything, but I mean, it's cool. It's cool to like. I'm speaking to someone I don't know, but who's like, it's so weird, but it's so great. I don't know. Already, I'm like, okay, I see why this is a thing. I see why I've missed out for a long time. I was thinking about, dude, I had such a stigma going into it that like, and I'm always open to having open conversations and like, I just love this shit. I love connecting with people and like having conversations. It's the best. But for some reason, I had such a stigma, like a fearful stigma about like speaking to someone with that may help me like become healthier and like mentally healthier for my mind. And then I was thinking, like after speaking to her, I was like, dude, I was thinking about, this is weird, but I was thinking about acting and storytelling and like the things that I've done to myself in the past 4 years, let's say, and the places I went and what I did to like to myself to get to a point of honestly telling a story, which is, you could call it whatever. You call it flawed, you call it, fearful act, you call it whatever you want. But that was what I chose to do. The trauma that I've experienced, first of all, before that, and then like what I've done to myself recently, I was like, oh, I'm fine. Like, I'm good. Remember, like, I would walk away from something, I'd be like, it's fine. I mean, whatever. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fucking fine. I'm fine. And
We're good. We're good.
yeah, we're fine. We're fine. And
Yeah.
it's just like you don't look at yourself and say, like, it's okay. You put yourself through a lot of shit. There's trauma from that.
Yeah.
You can look at that and you could say, it's okay, man. Like, it's okay to be someone who's been through some shit.
Yep.
And you don't have to pretend like you haven't.
Yeah.
But now let's address that you have.
Yeah.
And let's like figure out ways through it. You know? Not around
Yeah.
it, not hiding
like
from it. Yeah. Through
I mean, we're not taught to, look at that part of ourselves.
No, for sure.
Taught to hide it all.
I mean, you were cut from the same cloth, I think,
Yeah.
where it's like, it's not normal to do
Yeah.
that. You don't really
Yeah,
like
no,
look back and
definitely
say
not.
like what you've experienced and deal with it.
Yeah.
It's like, move on. Next
Yep.
thing, work,
Exactly.
relationship.
Store it in.
Yeah, store it up, bury it.
Find a
right,
spot.
right in your fucking socks.
Good.
Yeah. But yeah. But like, no, it's been cool to like voice those things and to say, yeah, man, things could have happened that caused trauma, and let's focus on that, and let's pick it apart and not just hide it and run away.
Did you have any trouble like when you walked in there where you're like, oh shit?
I was on Skype like this. I was
Yeah?
on like on a Zoom.
Was it like that's so like I just like can't imagine like just going into it.
It's weird.
You know?
It's so weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. But it became effortless in like a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's that?
Was there anything that surprised you going into it, like on the other side, like, oh shit,
Yeah.
I did not expect it to be blank,
You know what?
and it was.
I think I didn't expect her to be such a great listener. I don't know if that makes any sense because
Really?
that's what you would expect.
her
right? When you
job,
sit
no?
there. But I guess I was skeptical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, she's just gonna hear me out. And it's
She's like,
gonna
yep,
be
all right.
yeah, okay, yeah, and take a
Go
note. and be
on.
Like, sure. This is your problem, and here we go. And it wasn't like that at all. It was like I'm speaking, and I'm, she saved room for me to like share as much as I wanted, and then she would address that. And she was just such a great active listener. And I was like, damn, you're really good at this. Like, you're really good. You're really good at listening. I feel heard. It was like a cool, crazy feeling, you know. But I felt great.
Oh my gosh.
So for those
That's
of you
so
keeping up
awesome.
with it, your boy's in therapy now. Therapy.
Yeah.
I can say it.
And it's wild because it's like the fear of the thing
Yeah.
itself. It's like, oh, if you're in therapy, it's like something's up.
Yeah,
You know?
for sure.
It's like,
For sure.
oh wow. And like it's tough to like get over that, that fear of like the label.
Yes. Yeah.
Someone once said to me, like, because a lot of my family and stuff, they're like, I can just like get through my own problems myself. But someone one time was like, you can't do brain surgery on yourself.
Yes.
And I love that.
Yes.
I love that so much because it's like, yeah, you can't, and like, I love therapy because it's like, it's almost like someone to like hold a space for you, and kind of like keep you in check, and like you can be your ugliest, most embarrassing self with this person,
I think you'd love it.
I say that to my therapist all the time. I'm
you'd
like,
love it.
Kelly, I love this because I'm going to say this thing and I would never say this to anybody else because I know how terrible it sounds,
Yeah.
but like blah, 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 blah.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then I would say it and then she'd be like, well, actually, this is what I really think about this thing.
Yeah.
And usually when you like create a space like that for yourself to say those things with a therapist, like that's when you get the most surprising things and the most enlightening things,
Yeah.
and that's when you can really get tools to like work on your mental health. And
Right.
like, that's where, all the good stuff is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good thing.
Oh, I'm so psyched for you.
I want to
dude.
do it now.
So
You
psyched.
should, man.
I want to do it.
It's really cool. You'd love it. You'd love it.
What?
Just therapy. Just seeing someone. I think it's great. I think we should all do it.
You know what it is? Because I feel like I have a lot of like that idea of like you working through yourself, doing brain surgery on yourself.
Yeah.
The amount of time you just like sit in the shower or like you in your car, just like in traffic, you're like thinking about all the shit that connects, and you're like connecting it all. Like you're like this because of this. This is why I'm fucked up. Like this is why I'm insecure. And then like you're like, all right, cool, I can live the day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, now I got
You know?
it.
You're like,
Yeah,
all right, I know now, I can fix it.
Cool.
But like,
I'm aware of it.
oh,
I know what connects where. Now I can.
that's how I
breathe.
work, dude. I'm like,
Yeah,
yep, I'm good. I'm chilling.
Yeah.
But Like it's like you need something else.
Yeah, man, because that's not sustainable.
Because it's like a thing that keeps coming up.
Yeah.
Over the years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna talk to you. I'm gonna talk to you after this. I'm gonna talk to you.
We'll talk more.
Yeah, and I'll help you out too.
There we go.
I'll give you my number, my guy.
Oh,
He's the
shit.
best.
Dude.
Kelly, shout out Kelly.
Shout out Kelly.
Big
Shout out Kelly. Shout out
Wow.
Lisa. That's
Dr. Kelly.
Oh
yeah.
So what are you excited for, Carrie Brennan? That's my question to you. What are you
What am
excited for?
I excited for?
Yeah.
I am excited. Honestly, I'm excited to see what the world does with 2021. Because I feel like 2020 is this hunker down. It's just kind of out the window at this point. But what I do also believe is like people are like in the works. And I don't I'm gonna go off on a tangent here for a second, but I feel like people who are like really passionate about what they do, right? Like, and what the world has essentially stopped, right? But the people who are like really passionate and really just like continuing on with whatever it is that they're doing, they're gonna come out of the woodworks in like 2021, and like it is gonna be insane. And like we don't know yet because they're working right now, but like what are the Olympics gonna look like? I guarantee people are working on that shit every single day. Like, what are concerts gonna look like? Like, holy shit! Like all these artists, because like when you're an artist, you don't stop. Like you don't stop doing what you're doing. That's your identity. So like, I wonder what like fucking Led Zeppelin's doing right now. He's probably like ripping every single day. And like, so it's very vague, but just in general, I'm just excited to see where the world comes in 2020.
Dude,
So yeah,
there's this quote I want to read to you.
You got something?
This is how long are we good on time?
Yeah.
What are we at?
We're like, I think an hour.
Okay, I gotta find it, but I have to read this to you because that just reminded me of this really, really powerful quote. I think it's Orwell. Fuck, man, I gotta find it. I'm sorry.
Find it, bro.
Yeah, go find it.
It's from 1984.
Like, what are you excited about?
Yeah, Mike, go
in the
ahead.
meantime.
Oh man. Yeah. I don't know. I really don't.
What are you excited about, man? Let's get to the bottom of it.
I'm excited. I'm excited for the people that I know are working hard and to see how they grow.
Yeah.
And working with them.
Yeah.
A couple people I'm working with. It's like people we know.
Yeah.
People in this room.
Oh.
People over the calls.
Oh. Okay.
But I don't know.
Yeah.
Because I've been in a very like non-creative mode.
Yeah.
Which just sucks. But I'm starting to change that a little bit, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just happy to see how that turns out.
It'll change.
Yeah. I just feel like it's really hard right now.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is really hard right now. And like when I get into those phases too, like just admitting that you're in it is like half the battle, I feel like too. Where I'm like, wait, you know what? I'm just like not creative. And then I don't want to push it.
Yeah, there's so many things with like I'm trying to move soon. Like that's being really slow. I've been waiting for like years already. I have like set things planned. Work is just super busy. On top of the, the whole I kind of want to ask, just like I feel like we're doing a disservice as a podcast if we don't like acknowledge like our president getting COVID. Like, what do you think about that? Like, I don't want to go anywhere.
I was hoping.
And this is the end of the podcast, so like we lost all the stragglers. You know what I mean? We could talk about whatever.
Well, okay. Let me just quote and we can get into it real quick.
Like I really.
Well, I'm waiting for you to get it.
Carrie Brennan, let me share this with you real quick, and then we'll get into it.
And then we will circle back to that because I absolutely do want to.
Yeah. So this was an Orwell quote from the book 1984. Everywhere, all over the world, hundreds or thousands or millions of people just like this. People who had never learned to think, but were storing up in their hearts and bellies and muscles the power that would one day overturn the world. Like
Can
it made
you
me.
read that again?
Who is it?
Yeah, I need that again.
Oh, you need it one more time?
Yeah.
Everywhere, all over the world, hundreds or thousands or millions of people just like this. People who had never learned to think, but were storing up in their hearts and bellies and muscles the power that would one day overturn the world. And that made me think of what you were just saying about what people are doing during this like lockdown year of the passionate ones that are like still like that fire storing up in your bellies and your muscles, and that one day is going to change things. Like one day you'll put out that thing and it's going to change things. Like now's the year of like the storing up of that energy, and it's everywhere and it's buzzing, and the passionate ones are doing what they can, and that energy is going to be released eventually. Like it's going to be released, and it's going to maybe, like Orwell says, overturn the world, you know?
Wow. That's
That's like such a.
beautiful. I love that imagery.
How'd you remember that quote?
That's one of my favorite
That's
quotes.
crazy.
Yeah.
That's
How did you
amazing.
find that quote?
You know, this brain is weird. This brain's so weird. What it thinks of, dude. The shit that comes up, you know?
I absolutely love it.
But
Like, what
yeah.
do you think of the president getting coronavirus?
Hot take.
Since
I
you
think
brought it up.
I
Hot
think.
takes.
Yeah, I'll start it off.
Fire hot.
Now look,
Yeah.
it's
now
so
look.
fucking funny when like literally the day before during like the debate.
Oh yeah.
Did you watch that shit,
Yes.
dude?
Yes.
Worst thing I
did.
watched in my life.
Dude, I watched it.
Worst thing I watched. In my life. I can't believe we're like living in this age where we're just like a bunch of football teams just trying to kill each other.
It's
You know what I mean?
insane.
I really like. I can't. Like I've been looking at just at everything. Like I
Yeah.
can't side with anything.
Yeah.
I don't know how you're a person and you side with anything.
I
Like right now,
it's very difficult.
like politically, I don't know. Like
Right now.
really, like no, like high up groups
I
are
don't know.
like doing anything, you know, that is like, yeah, I'm down for all this shit. You know what I mean? That they're saying,
Right.
you know?
There's not one side
And-
that you're like, oh yes.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
totally
And I think
Yeah.
that's just, you know, unfortunate, but
yeah.
that's what times we're living in.
Yeah.
But it's just so funny in the debate that he literally was mocking Biden for like,
Dude.
for the mask wearing,
Dude, and then you got COVID.
and then he got the shit. I think that's so fucking hilarious.
Fucking crazy. It is
Yeah,
like
did you guys
poetry.
see oh sorry. What were you gonna say?
No,
Lindsay?
I was saying it's like you can't write that.
Yeah.
It's like you'd be like, oh, that's too cheesy if you wrote it. You know?
Exactly.
It's
Just be
written,
like, no,
bro.
that's that doesn't, that's too much of a twist.
It's not
Like,
believable. Yeah.
It's not foreshadowed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever. Like
Yeah.
a cliche.
Yeah.
I think it's
cliche.
pretty sad when like SNL, like I was watching SNL and
Jim
their
Carrey came back
reaction of
as
the debate.
Biden, right? Jim Carrey, I heard.
God.
Yes. And honestly, I mean, I like didn't even think that it was super funny.
Oh,
And then
yeah.
afterwards I was like, oh my God, wait. Because the debate was that bad,
Yeah.
like I can't even like laugh
Right.
at like
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. There was a moment in it I was really I remember being so hurt that I think it's just because of the humanity thing like you're talking about. There's no humanity. There's no empathy.
Yeah,
There's no structure. It's just
No.
we're
No,
slinging
no.
barbs at each other until someone stops us.
exactly.
Yeah.
But
It's he said, she said,
yeah,
all this,
yeah,
you know.
it's complete horseshit.
Exactly.
But there was this one part where Trump brought up and I'm not picking sides here. I'm just
Yeah.
saying like this is what happened. Trump brought up
Yeah.
Biden's son having an addiction. Did you hear that part?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
and then Biden had to
So-
like admit in front of the world, yes, my son has an addiction or had an addiction, and he
Yeah.
went through the recovery. And he said, I'm very proud of him. And I almost started crying. I was like, that's
Yeah.
regardless of how you feel politically, like as a father, that's just a beautiful thing to do. And it's really it was I just didn't like what Trump said. I didn't think that's a respectful thing to say.
Well, as people, as
Kind of a
as
shitty thing to say.
how you are, how I am, how most people are, especially like actors and people that feel things.
yeah.
You know, like you're not gonna like Trump.
No,
At
no.
all.
I don't like any politician really.
Yeah, you're not gonna
It's
like
very-
anyone that's being like, you know, attacking people
Yeah.
for emotion, showing emotion, or anything like that.
Yeah. It's gonna have a hard
And
time.
like it's just,
Right.
it's just so I don't know. It's I can't even put into words how like it
It's a
just feels so
shame.
stupid. Yeah,
It's a shame.
I feel like shit like living here, you know,
Yeah.
and having to be like a part
it's tough.
and having to participate in
Yeah.
it, you know.
Your other choice is you just wash your hands of the entire political process.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But then you're not heard.
And that and if you ignore it, then
like you should vote.
it catches up.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, you should vote.
Yeah.
You should vote. You should
got
find some way to get as many of your, make a list of pros and cons, and wherever the pros are heavier than the cons, that's where you that's a vote you can place.
Yo, and then I'm sitting in my bed reading like conspiracies about how it's all fake that he got it, that he got corona, and it's like it's a ploy that he's gonna get better, and then he's gonna be this hero that we got the vaccine, and then they're gonna have this bullshit vaccine. Dude, it's like, what the fuck am I looking at?
You know what I see too is
it's a twisted reality TV show.
Yeah. It's tough. Like, I think what happens nowadays too is it's a lot of like people are telling you what to do and how to live, and if you don't do that or you don't think that, you're kind of gonna be like ostracized from humanity, like from the community, from the group, and like I saw when Trump when he got sick, people were saying like, I saw stories, and also if you denounce, or if you ever like hope someone dies, then like that's wrong of you, and you should whatever blah blah in so many words. And then I saw other stories of like and in funny ways or in not so funny ways, like hope he dies, and like I just was like, it's scary that I don't know, like that's the thing where we're kind of, there's just no humanity. It's just like you're telling us, you put out this headline, this is your story, and it's this is how you should think, and then this person's saying the complete opposite, and
no, that means this.
Yeah, man, it's just very odd. Like we weren't doing this. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. When I was younger, I don't remember having these kinds of thoughts. It's just weird to me.
I've just been trying to like bring it down to what I can do in like my world. Yes. Right.
Yes.
Like, because the reality of it all, it can be so overwhelming sometimes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, let me think, like, let me make sure that I'm registered to vote and all of this stuff, and like that I'm good on that end. Good. And then like the people that are closest to me, how can I educate, help learn with them? You know what I mean? And if they want to know why I would be voting for Biden and why it's personal and like what's at stake for me,
then you can have that.
Voting one way or another, or what's at stake for me if Trump gets elected, right? Like it's good to just try and see how you can influence your closest people, because I'm not gonna influence hundreds of thousands of people. I'm Carrie fucking Brennan. Like, people don't know, like, you know what I mean? But like, I have a close one of my friends who recently was like, I'm not sure who I'm voting for. And it was really tough to hear it, because like, I love her. She's an amazing person. But like, I was like, okay, here's a good opportunity for me to be like, so these are the things that he's done and said. And like, in the next 4 years, these are some things that could possibly happen.
Right.
So like, let me give you this information, and then I'm not going to tell you who to vote for. I'm not going to say vote for Biden.
Yeah.
But I will say, here's all this information.
Yeah.
Here's how it affects me.
Yeah.
And could affect you.
Yeah.
And vote with, and use your judgment.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
You just use your own judgment and your own rule book. Like, and I know her. I know who she is. I know the type of person she is.
Yeah.
So I know that she's going to make that decision what I see in my world as the right decision,
Yeah.
It's so, when you were saying that's like, it's so crazy how this system we have is so just like stupid in this day and age of like, if me voting for Trump or Biden is so much different than you voting for Trump or Biden.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you're a female.
You mean like it affects us differently?
Yeah, you're female and queer and all this shit, and like, I'm a white fucking heterosexual male. It's like, there's so much shit that benefits me if I vote for like this person or that, and like, to think about all the different amount of people, like different types of people in America, all have to make a decision which is usually a selfish one for themselves or their loved ones that could not even be like a extended group of like different types of people, how we're still like in this system of like we're all trying to benefit like one type of person or a small group of people.
Yeah.
You know, like I feel like it's
very
just
odd,
so
yeah.
it's not the right way.
Because we're picking people who are essentially taking money from our government and saying, this is what I'm gonna do. These are the rules I'm gonna enact. These are the new ways of living I'm gonna try to push forward. And we have to pick from people who are making those decisions like for their own monetary benefits. Like it blows my mind. Like I don't know, we can't and I don't know if this will ever exist or not. Like maybe we can't reach utopia. It's just impossible. There's going to be people who are never going to have total peace and freedom like everyone else has, which is like the scariest fucking thing to me. But like, is it no matter who we elect, like it's just not going to happen? Like if we elect one side, can we trust a person to just make things right, whatever that looks like? It just scares me. Because we can make, like, I feel like we're picking like lesser evils. It's like it's like we're damned if we do, damned if we don't. Like we have to choose, definitely. And let's just try to choose who's gonna fuck it up less. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how I feel sometimes. Exactly. I don't know. But also I'm not that educated on anything, but that's how I feel.
I just don't get why we have to choose one party, even something as simple as that. Like why can't we have like a leader of each party and then they all work together to figure this shit out? Because there's so many different parties like and group people that, you know, are like assign themselves to a certain thing. Yeah. Or a certain person. Yeah. Like why can't that be?
You know,
I think like
sorry, go ahead, Carrie.
The system itself, like the government is like this, it sounds that to say this, but like the way it was created, like it is pretty dope. Like this system, like, and how the checks and balances and stuff like that. And like if you really go and look at it and you're like, shit, like it serves itself
for sure
for what it's trying to do, in the sense of like, damn, there's a shit ton of people in America. Like they're like, that alone is like, it's just it's insane. And like it is that realization that like, there are going to be people that are always upset, but like I think like the corruption is so it's so apparent. Like you know what I mean? In the recent years, I always ask my parents, I'm always like, so is it like, is the world just getting more and more fucked up as time goes by, or am I just getting older and realizing and opening my eyes to look that the world is literally on fire?
That's a great question.
And like, and I always ask my parents that, like throughout the years, I've always asked that question to them. And it's so funny because the last time I did, it was like during quarantine or something like that. My mom was like, because it's more of like a topic of conversation. Yeah. But this time it was like, okay, that conversation that we always go back to, the world is actually now getting worse. Like I can say with absolute certainty. Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah.
That's great to hear.
Great question. It's good to hear.
Great to hear.
Thank you, Mama Brennan. Mama Brennan.
Patty Brennan.
Hey, Patty Brennan.
Shout out.
P. Brennan.
I just really think that we can be free in America. America's about freedom, you know? Yeah. We're the only country that you can, you know, take a shit of a, you know, picture of Trump and post it online and everyone laughs. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like you can die for that in China or some shit. Right. You know? But I do think that we can have freedom and also not like hate each other.
There's got to be a way.
You know, there's definitely a way.
Hopefully. I was thinking about you know, however you feel about this person, George Washington, first president, right? Mm-hmm. I was thinking about like when they created democracy. This dude was so beloved, right? He became the one. He was the first president, and he ran for a second term, right? Of course, unanimous, 100%. We love George. George said on the third term, when they were like, "Keep it going, homie," he said, "No, thank you. This is not what we all decided on. I'm going to leave this station, and the next person is going to be elected president, whoever that is, whoever the community decides." That's democracy. Do you think, now maybe this is a talk about how people have gotten away from empathy in politics. Do you think Trump would walk away if he had a chance for a third term to be elected? And do you think Biden would? Do you think those two people would say, no, thank you. I don't know. Now that's
I don't think.
yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
If we're looking at Trump from a completely clinical standpoint, like he has all the markings, like all the check marks of a narcissist.
Yes,
like
he checks all the boxes.
So objective,
Yes,
like literally.
Yes.
Like here's narcissist radar. It's like ding 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 ding. So like clinically speaking, like I don't think he has it in him,
right,
to not like want to do that,
right,
you know,
right.
Yeah.
Like one of my like best friends in the world is a 50-year-old straight Republican, voted for Trump man, and we have these conversations all the time. And he said to me the other day, he's like, I think that Trump wanted to throw the debate. It was because he was mortified by the debate, and was like, I think he wanted to throw it. Like, I think that he just wants to get out, that he can make more money.
Wow.
Like, you know, outside of the presidency and all that stuff. And I was like, interesting opinion. I have not heard, number one, I have not heard anybody say that.
Yeah, no.
Either.
Thing. But I disagree because I literally think it's like in his DNA to not want to lose. Like his ego's too.
Yeah.
So
you think Trump's gonna go up there and be like, "You got this, bud."
It's
your turn.
Your turn.
It's your turn.
Your turn, Joey.
Yeah. No, I don't.
No,
think
probably
so.
not. Probably not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there it is. That's our first political segment.
First
on the
one. First one with Carrie
All
Brennan.
right.
Carrie Brennan.
Carrie.
Vote.
Hey, I think
Carrie
we're.
Brennan, go
we're
vote.
I think we're set.
All right.
We're set.
Anything you want to shout out? Anything that you have that you want to talk about before we get out of here?
Ooh, shout out Abby Jacobson and Alana Glazer for their political videos that they've been making recently. Go check them out. They're amazing. Talk about innovators. Those two are fucking innovators.
Sick.
So
Boom.
yes.
There we go.
Shout out.
You send me those links. I'll put them in the description so people can look.
Dude, we're excited for Block. We can't wait.
Yes.
That's another thing. All right.
I'm gonna put that trailer in the description too. You guys gotta watch that shit.
Yes. Fucking
Thank you so much.
shout out to you, Carrie, for making it happen. Shout out to everyone. Tori, shout out. Love you. Shout out. Nick Craven's in there.
Boom.
Everybody's
Yes.
in there.
Yes.
Top
Nick
down.
Craven.
Yeah, there's everyone's in there. I saw Vange in there for a sec. Shout out. Love you.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
We're just excited for you. You're one of my favorite people in the world.
Yes.
You just make me feel so good every time I talk to you, dude. And I just genuinely love you from the bottom of my heart. And thank you for doing the podcast.
Thank you, Carrie.
Hell yeah. Also mutual.
Yes. Boom.
Cool.
Well, that's episode 89 of the
All right.
podcast. Find the podcast on youtube.com with that video. Apple Podcast, Spotify, Apple, whatever. I don't know.
Apple Podcast.
I'm done, dude. I can't. www.youareherepodcast.co. We can afford
Damn.
My name is Mike and I'm signing out.
My name is Dave and I love y'all.
Talk to you guys. Adios.
Adios.
She just left. They didn't need to leave. Carrie, no.
Hey, we come back.
We can still talk.
We can talk.